Hello, everyone. Before I start, I just want to confirm, can everybody hear me on the session? Great. Thank you so much for the confirmation. So first of all, I welcome you all to the product launch of WizIQ NextGen, which is the gateway to the future of virtual classroom and learning management. Before I go ahead, let me introduce myself. My name is Kapil, and I'm the moderator for today's session. Uh, a brief introduction to WizIQ NextGen. It is the latest innovation in the learning management being offered by WizIQ, and it promises to take the online learning experience to the next level. This webinar will take you into the details of how WizIQ NextGen solves the most important issues and challenges which are faced by the educators related to the online learning technology. So the speaker of today's webinar is Mr. Harman Singh. And Mr. Harman started WizIQ almost a decade ago with the idea of building an internet-based platform where the educators and learners could connect online with each other and collaborate. He has been a pioneer and a renowned thought leader in making online education technology affordable, feature-rich, and easy to use for educators and organizations. So without further ado, let me hand over the session to Harman, and he will take us through the product launch of WizIQ NextGen.
Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me? Okay, great. Thanks for being in this session today. I've been waiting for a long time to deliver a session like this, and I really appreciate you joining this. I see at least 82 people in the session. Let me just quickly give a little bit of background of WizIQ. I started WizIQ in 2007. Some of the attendees in this webinar might already know that they've been associated with WizIQ for that long. Yes, Nelly has been with me for that long. So we won various awards. We've done. We have experienced a lot of online learning through this platform. And we've been really fortunate to have hosted several virtual conferences on this platform. A lot of progress made. Millions of students have used our software, our platform for many years. 500,000 educators have used it. There are more than 120,000 live classes that happen on WizIQ already, even on the old technology. So there are lots of things that we have experienced over the last 1 decade. And we've always wanted to build an education and training software or the platform where we believe that various segments within the education and training industry can use, and this is an evidence of that we have customers almost in every segment that you can think of. Classes from language learning to higher ed classes to vocational skills to corporate training, all sorts of education and training goes through WizIQ. As far as this webinar is concerned, let me set the agenda here. We'll talk about the state of online learning today, the challenges that are faced by educators and trainers especially from technology, then difficulty with addressing those challenges for companies like us, then how the new software, the WizIQ NextGen, simplifies the learning delivery mechanism. And then we'll talk a little bit about the pricing model more than the pricing itself, and a sneak peek into the platform. So we dug into some research, and we've been using this research for ourselves as well. As you can see here, what are the top 5 reasons that people want to switch their learning management software? Number one, as you can see, and it was pretty obvious to me, is to improve user experience. If you notice that most technologies have been built a decade or even more, and the new user experiences are just not there. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Uber have changed the game and user experience, and old technologies are not able to cope up to that. Then administrative experience, enhanced reporting, lack of integration of systems is a big deal, right? We can totally understand that in the new internet age. And then, of course, not so great mobile applications. Now, this is another research that says that talks about the user satisfaction levels on the scale of 100. For example, the video channel experience is scored at 57.5 out of 100. You know, discussion forums are at 53. Now, why is this? Because this is because internet technologies have moved at a much faster pace, and the users are attuned to YouTube, to Facebook, and platforms like these, and yet learning management systems haven't really caught up to that kind of experience. So this is another piece of research. This chart shows what needs to be done to improve adoption of digital content. Now, obviously, this is my favorite, that blended learning or involvement of the instructor needs to be increased so that adoption of digital content happens. Same goes for improving student engagement, right? Even bringing everything onto the mobile for the students, right? In today's age, you can't just expect a learning management system or any application in the world not have a great mobile experience. So in summary, the various challenges, if we were to summarize all the challenges that we are talking about, that we observe, I'd like to put it into these three different buckets. First is unsatisfactory user experience. The second is lack of integrated environment for the learning management software or your learning delivery platform to integrate and talk to other systems. And then, poor mobility options. So let's talk about each of these one by one. Under the user experience challenge, we summarize this, or we double click on the user experience. What's so wrong with the user experience? We feel that these are the three key issues. Look and feel, the navigation and simplicity, it's not as good as Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube as modern day applications. Then performance. Most of the old technologies are not built on the cloud ground up. So when I say ground up, if you see AWS, Azure, all the cloud service providers, they've been largely been in the scene for the last 5 or 7 years, not before that. And anything built before the last 2 or 3 years has not been built ground up on the cloud. So that is a big challenge. Then branding, right? So we experienced these issues with our old platform. White labeling was kind of a post facto thought. Okay, now we have the software, let's also white label it. But it doesn't really work well like that. It has to be a design thought right from the beginning. Then not so integrated systems, right? So today's software systems, be it in learning management space, be it in healthcare, be it in any industry, need to talk to other systems. That's what internet is all about. And unless those things are designed well in the platform, right from the beginning, you can't really do them well. So that is the second challenge. And the third, of course, is mobility. With the introduction of iPhone a decade ago, we're still looking at apps that are not that good, and especially in the learning delivery space. So these are the three key challenges that we're going to talk about more today and how we are addressing those. So for any technology provider, including us, these are the challenges we face to offer our offer our customers a great solution, whether it's us, our competitors, whoever you talk about. If they, so the user interfaces that we see today are very recent, but most of the applications, enterprise level applications, were designed 10 or 15 years ago. Then new technologies, Flash being an example. We have used Flash extensively. It used to be a great technology 10 years ago, but um, but not anymore. So you have to replace Flash with something much better. In mobile, we've already talked about, and in integration, you have to build a platform from ground up that is API driven. That's the only way to have seamless integrations in the future. So these are the four reasons why technology providers have not been able to build really smooth user experiences and great technology for learning delivery or learning management. So this is where we changed our approach. First of all, from the product design perspective, looking at the industry with more than a decade of my personal experience in the industry, what we narrowed down to was the self-paced. We designed the whole platform to deliver to these two broad use cases: self-paced learning and instructor-led learning. So from ground up, from the product design perspective, uh, we wanted to solve these two problems. That let's have tools available to deliver high quality self-paced learning, and also have tools to deliver a high quality instructor-led learning. So that was the basis from the product design standpoint. Then now let's see how what all things we did to make sure that the user experience is great, it's a fully integrable product, and at the same time it's mobile ready. So for user experience, what we did is we adopted the absolutely modern Google's platform for user interface design, right? You can see that even in this virtual classroom, the things you see, the icons you see, the transitions you see, that have all been taken from Google's material design platform. So we try to be as close as possible to Google's material design, and that if you see all the new applications, even Google's own, they're all based on those design principles. Now, for performance reasons, as you can imagine, our old software as well used Flash a lot. Now, Flash used to be a great technology. However, over the years, Flash did not hold up to the promise with so many users and the expectation of users to have really lightweight technology. So this is where WebRTC, which is a protocol, which is a technology stack that is used, that is modern day, used for real-time audio and video communication. For example, in this virtual classroom itself, the video that you see, my video, is based on that. And as you noticed, you did not have to install any plugin whatsoever, unlike in the days of Flash, right? As you can also see in the chart in front of you, that the growth of adoption of WebRTC has been growing, and it's been all over the world. And just so you know, very recently, Apple announced their support for WebRTC as well, and we are working on iOS right now to make sure it's out there ASAP. Now, for performance, we chose Azure as our backend technology as a cloud provider. Now, why Azure? We have very deep partnerships with Microsoft. Microsoft team was deployed for us to make sure that the software that we build is going to be really high performing. They have lent their experts to us. Azure is either number one or number two with AWS out there. We get lots of support from Microsoft to do this. So the entire backbone of the new WizIQ NextGen is sitting on Azure, and it's global in nature. Now, talking about white labeling, which, as I said before, is really key for the adoption of the platform. Now, white labeling has to be done ground up. You cannot have your software ready and then go back and say, now I'm going to white label. Whether it's providing custom vanity URL, it's about theming of the whole platform through CSS, uh, logo of your logo, customer's logo, or even your custom mobile app, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So even the notifications that go through the WizIQ NextGen platform is going to be from your company's email address. Just 1 second, just reading up chat as well. Okay, talking about solving the problem of integration, again, from ground up, WizIQ NextGen is built on microservice technology. Without getting too technical about it, even Twitter, Facebook, and Amazon are built on these technologies. So because everything that we built is already built through microservices, which is an API in itself, it's very easy for us to expose those APIs to our customers so they can use the same APIs that we use to build our own user interfaces. So speaking of which, we just released our data APIs today, which we'll be working more on, and almost everything that you would see in the WizIQ NextGen platform is consumable directly from the APIs. Another approach that for integration that we have is we have our own virtual classroom and our own learning management software. There are no separate systems that need to be integrated. One example I'll give you about better user experience because of such integration is where, say, if you were using some open source platform called Moodle, you still need a virtual classroom. You can use WizIQ's virtual classroom, but you can use any other virtual classroom as well. But guess what? Your students now have to download two separate applications, one for Moodle on the mobile and another for the virtual classroom. Now, switching between one application to another, two applications to be downloaded, two applications to be switched back and forth, and I would say that's not great user experience. Here, at WizIQ NextGen, virtual classroom and learning management are integrated, bound together. So one application on the mobile and it does all the job. Seamlessly switching between self-paced and live instructor-led learning is how it works. Same goes for tests and assessments. We have spent a lot of time and effort going deeper into test and assessment framework, and every month we are releasing new features, so you get more capabilities in those features as well. So moving forward, we'll continue to invest in live instruction medium, which is the virtual classroom. We have a complete backbone for a YouTube kind of infrastructure for streaming recorded videos in multiple bit rates through a content delivery network. We have tests and assessments which are pretty deep in themselves. We have an integrated content library which can kind of suck up almost any kind of content, makes it reusable for you in different courses. So the whole approach here is deep integration and yet have data APIs for WizIQ NextGen to talk to outside systems. Now this is another favorite of mine, which is custom mobile application. So as you can see from this timeline, that the Web 1.0 also gave us mobile experiences, but they were not so great. They were not even responsive. Then companies moved towards building applications that were responsive as well, right? Where you would open a website on your phone and it would fit to the screen, but experience is not that great still. Moving towards shared mobile applications like Skype and Gmail, one common mobile app, say even for Moodle, one common mobile app, and all the users, no matter which university, which institution they belong to, they would log into that one app, one Skype app, one Gmail app, one Moodle app. To where what we have done at WizIQ, we provide every customer, if they want, with a branded custom mobile app that sits on Google Play Store and Apple App Store as a customer's mobile application with his own logo, everything of his own. So this is, uh, I think this is a great job my team has done to bring to a point where each customer can literally have his own mobile app. On pricing, there's also some change uh, that we have done. Just one second. Okay, so on pricing, there's some changes we have made. We earlier used to pretty much have just room and attendee-based pricing because largely we were licensing our virtual classroom. We still have that pricing, but for ease of consumption, um, we've also introduced registered user-based pricing. Here, if you just tell us how many total users you have, we have no limits on the number of attendees in the virtual classroom. We have no limits on the number of rooms you can create. You simply have to tell us how many total users you have. In other words, how many total students or learners you have. So we've given both these options to the customers. You can choose either of the two pricing models. And I think this is great because if you just want to use virtual classroom with your Moodle, with WordPress, or with a learning management system that you already use, you can choose the room-based, room and attendee-based pricing. If you like to use the platform throughout end-to-end without worrying about how many attendees you're gonna get in one class, you can switch to registered user-based pricing. Now, let me talk a little bit about some of the key use cases. We've seen WizIQ being used in so many different areas and segments, from language learning to little kids learning something online, to college students taking classes, to managers taking their corporate courses, so on and so forth. But here are some key use cases that I think WizIQ can really serve the purpose for. So if you're in higher education, a college or a university, and you want to start a distance learning program, so this is the best place to start. So we recently worked with the Indian government to build the largest MOOC platform, which is built on the WizIQ technology. It's called Swayam. It's designed to have 30 million students at any given point. And it's supposed to be the largest MOOC platform in the world. It's still in very nascent stages, but there's a lot of push behind the platform by the Indian government. And at the same time, with such a large young population in India, we do believe that those numbers are going to be reached very soon. So any kind of distance learning program can be delivered through WizIQ NextGen. Then test preparation and tutoring centers. We've seen many of our customers who were into the traditional physical in-person teaching and training business are taking at least a part of their business online. The economics are great for the online business. There's a lot more quality control you can have, and you can in fact have so many things you can do digitally which you cannot really do in a physical classroom. Then corporate training, right from training the customers. Now this is a new use case out there in the industry where especially software companies want to train their customers on how to use the software. Now we see pretty much two ways to train anyone, either through self-paced learning courses or through instructor-led courses, right? So be it K-12, higher ed, or corporate. So there's a lot of customer training going on. Employee training is an old use case, can be served through WizIQ. Partner training, franchise owner training. And then this is a new area, skills, the change in skills required in every employee or every person, even self-employed person, is changing so rapidly in the world, with programming becoming a really important field for everybody to learn, and new skills need to be learned. So this is an area certainly that is hot. Even in India, the government has a huge push towards this. World over, platforms like Udacity, Udemy, they're all Linda. They're all focused on skills categories. So this is a great use case for WizIQ. It gives you built-in live instructor-led training as well. And I think this is a great platform for vocational and skills training. And of course, you can deliver large-scale webinars like this. Right now, we can have up to 300 attendees in one live class like this one. However, we are working towards improving this number, increasing this number even in the future. So I'll just walk you through a 3 or 4 minute long video that will give you a sneak preview of the new platform itself. Just hold on 1 second. Yeah, so this video is uploaded on YouTube. I just switched the tabs in the virtual classroom. I'll play this video. It should play for everybody, and the controls are still with me. I'll just get this started. Just 1 second, it didn't start from the beginning. I just paused the video. Let me talk a little bit about the virtual classroom itself. What you see is obviously a recorded screen of this virtual classroom. This is, we spend a lot of time and energy into building this product, built on WebRTC, as I explained. The whole virtual classroom, the whole class is being recorded. As you can see on the top, on the recording is blinking. The whole screen is recorded on the server and made available as one video file. So you don't have to deal with multiple small video segments. You can actually take it and publish even on YouTube. So this one feature we thought was so important, and it took us so long to just make it right, that I think it can change a lot of things in the field of online education. You can deliver classes at the same time, have that content recorded and be available in a high definition video format that is reusable somewhere else. You can you can teach actually a programming course using a tool called Code Editor. All right, just give me 1 second for it to get loaded. So this is a code editor. You can, write any piece of code and collaborate on the same piece of code while teaching it to your students. The students can write some piece of code. You can check, correct it, and so on. So this, as I said, for programming and modern day skills training is where how it works. Besides this, you can of course upload any kind of video. It gets converted into the right format on our servers. You can play it for the audience. You can play any kind of YouTube video. Of course, the whiteboard is there, and you can save the entire set of notes in PDF. So going back to the video again. So I hope you like the video presentation of the new platform. You can just sign up for a 30-day free trial. More than happy to give even one-to-one demonstrations. So just summarizing, um, there's some features that we worked a lot on, and I think they're very exclusive to our platform and very important for the online education world. Is that um, the virtual classroom is integrated, and so are tests inside the learning management system. We have WebRTC not Flash-based audio video streaming, so that is great because WebRTC is just an awesome technology. Ultra modern UI with material design, what you would see on most modern Google applications or even Facebook and LinkedIn. It's a completely customizable and brandable mobile application experience, the first in the industry, I would say, and the promise of a 24 by 7 support as always. You can just pick up the phone and talk to one of our folks any day of the year, any hour of the day. So this is it from my side. I'm more than happy for you to take up any kind of to sign up for it, and more than happy to deliver one-on-one demonstrations if you like.
Thank you, Harman, for sharing your wonderful insights and enlightening us about latest trends in online education industry. So, with that, the session is open for the question and answer sessions. Uh, we have 10 minutes, and in case anybody has any question, you may please type in the chat, and Harman and me will try to answer, to the best of our capability. So, I would request if anybody has a question, they can write the question on the chat. So, there is one question regarding the pricing, Harman.
Yeah, just 1 second. Let me go through the questions. And so I see a question on does it work with Moodle? Yes, it does. You can buy through the room-based pricing model, and the plugins for Moodle and WordPress already ready. On pricing, if you go to wiziq.com/pricing, there are two models for pricing that you would see. One is user-based pricing, the other is room-based pricing. Room-based pricing you would use if you just want to use virtual classroom like you would do before, or you want to integrate the virtual classroom with another learning management software. If you choose user-based pricing, then we limit to the number of users you choose. We have no limit within that to the number of classes you want to create or number of attendees you want to have in the class, up to 300. Edge support is not yet there. We are working with Microsoft on that. So a little bit of challenge there is. So the learning management system works on Edge. The virtual classroom doesn't work on Edge yet, and that's because Microsoft is still working towards complete WebRTC support.
There is one question regarding the virtual classroom integration with the website.
Yes, totally possible. We have the APIs. Our team can even assist you in such integrations. So yes, they're available. So Emily, yes, you can. You'll get the recording of this webinar as a YouTube link or a link from from WizIQ, and even the presentation in a PDF format.
There was one question wherein a participant asked that is WizIQ available in China?
Uh, so far, the answer is no. We don't have WizIQ available in China. We can't. Obviously, we can't get to the firewall. We yet to form partnership in China to bring WizIQ there.
Okay.
So yeah, let me clarify a little bit on the mobile app. The mobile app is only for the learners. It's not for the instructors or administrators. We believe that instructors would be best still using a laptop or a desktop, but learners can use the mobile app. The free trial is valid for 30 days. Happy to extend longer if you like, and somebody can be in touch with you, Alison. Couple, did I miss any question?
Yeah, I'm just looking for that.
Is billing system possible to be integrated? Yes, we have data APIs now available. You can pull data like how many enrollments have happened in the course, how much has been paid by whom. So yes, you can integrate a billing system to that.
There was a question wherein the participant asked that how much time will it take for a recording to get processed?
Yeah, it usually takes as long as the session, a little more than the session. So if the session was for 1 hour, it usually takes 1 hour, 20 minutes for the recording to get processed.
Okay. And one question regarding the digital input devices which we support, uh, wherein the trainers and the instructors can write on the whiteboard.
We definitely support Wacom. Any kind of input device can be supported. That's the beauty of working with a browser-based technology. So whatever works with the operating system should work with the virtual classroom. And we have tested with many Wacom and eyeball devices.
Okay, great.
We've also tested with Microsoft Surface devices.
Okay, great.
Payment gateway integration. Yes, we have integrated with Stripe. So if you have your own Stripe account, that can be integrated into with IQ NextGen. Is it possible to teach coding online? Absolutely. I gave a short demonstration on how to do that. So there's a resource in the virtual classroom, just like the whiteboard. You can actually have a code editor launch. Compatible with Safari. By December, we are targeting that. Although Apple has announced the support on Safari, there's still some last minute bugs these companies are going through. So we should be ready by, say, end of December. It already works with Chrome and Firefox without any glitches.
Harman, there was a question regarding the Arabic interface for
Yeah.
the virtual classroom.
Yeah, so the WizIQ NextGen platform is completely compatible with any language, including RTL languages. It is available in Arabic, except for so the entire virtual classroom is available, but some of the learning management screens are not. For example, when an instructor creates a course or he schedules a live class, we are working on those as well. However, all the students would completely see the interface in Arabic.
Okay, great. So we have one more minute in case anybody has a question. They can still send it through.
There's one switch. Yes, the customers of the older platform can switch to the new platform. Our customer support team can be in touch. There are many customers who've already moved. There are more customers moving every day. I would be happy to support that. Chinese as a language we can support. We are agnostic now to supporting any language out there. We don't have a built-in support yet for Chinese, but it's just a translation that needs to be done. So that would not be a problem if somebody needs it.
Okay, I think
So
we have exhausted 10
yeah,
minutes. Yeah.
just one more second. Let me just see if there's any question. Yep. Looks like I've been able to answer at least most of them.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Herman, for responding to most of the questions. And I thank everyone for joining today's session. And as we were asked about the recording, so in a day or two, each one of you will be sent a recording link wherein you can recapture whatever we have discussed. And just an important piece of information before we close. Once we end the session, each one of you will get a feedback form. I would request you all to please provide your valuable feedback, which we then will use to further enhance our services in order to best serve you. So in a few seconds, we're going to end the session.